Hey guys, what's up? I'm CJ and welcome back to my galaxy. Today we are talking about none other than President Coriolanus Snow. Many people talk about how the prequel book, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is Snow's villain origin story and how he rose to power. But I would like to discuss how his descent into madness was the precursor for his inevitable rise to power. Like a little bit of a domino effect. Like how going crazy was a little bit of a domino effect for Dr. Ghoul finally accepting him. When we begin the prequel, President Coriolanus Snow is known as Corio to his cousin Tigris, and Coriolanus to his classmates in high school, or the Capital Academy. I think they call it the Academy. From Coriolanus's inner monologue, we know that he has every opportunity to make every right decision, but he always chooses to go for the wrong decision. The decision that gains him power, that moves him and the Snow family up the ranks of the capital and out of poverty. This movement out of poverty is an altruistic thought process from Snow, and pretty much the only altruistic action that Snow participates in whatsoever. Well, actually, when I say altruistic, it's mostly because he wants to give back to Tigris and his grandmam, but it's also kind of based in selfish thoughts because he wanted more opportunities for himself and he didn't want to be shamed by the capital elite. With every right decision Snow could make, Tigris was on his shoulder as kind of the angel on his shoulder to make him choose the right decision, imploring him to take advantage of the opportunities that she had given Snow. Tigris sacrificed a lot for Snow, and yet he never thanked her for it and never took advantage of all the opportunities that were open because of Tigris. He just looked towards all the opportunities he didn't have. She kind of acted as a moral compass as well. However, there is symbolism that Snow has in the book. The symbolism is good or bad. Which decision does he make? Which footsteps does he follow in with his mother's compact and his father's compass? Much of the fandom talks about how his mother's compact is imploring him to do good and to take after his mother, and the compass is telling him to take after his father and his actions and his hatred for the districts, specifically District 12 where he died. Tigris did not want Snow to become like his father, so she was always trying to push him towards being like his mother and pushing him towards those opportunities. Snow's decision making and all the opportunities he definitely had within the capital and the academy is important to note when going into his descent into madness. Because Snow's ability to make decisions and make actual proper decisions is all based on what his mental stability is like at the time. The points I believe were like the checkpoints of where he was slowly starting to become mad and he would go mentally unstable during those periods of time, directly correlates with the Hanging Tree song that we get the complete version of at the end of the film when Snow was killing Lucy Gray. Whilst the line in the Hanging Tree song, "They say he murdered three," is originally based off of a man, Arlo, who murdered 3 people, or supposedly murdered 3 people in a mining accident, said to have been started by a rebel group that he led. By the time we get to Lucy Gray, Snow has also killed 3 people, and the song begins to take a different meaning. At first, in the arena during the 10th Hunger Games, Snow bludgeons Bobbin to death. After this, Snow goes on to say to Tigris how powerful it made him feel, except, like we stated earlier, how Tigris was his moral compass. Tigris tells him that she doesn't want Snow to go through such a thing. She is still trying to protect him despite him going mad with power after murdering his first kill. His second kill is in District 12, the mayor's daughter, Mayfair. He shoots her when she tries to escape with the news of the murder of Billy Torp and the news of treason that Sejanus is trying to commit. And his third and final kill was Sejanus, despite him not actually directly killing Sejanus since he was executed for treason. Snow was the direct result of the capital finding out about Sejanus' acts of treason. The point in which Sejanus dies is where I believe is the point of no return for Snow and his complete descent into madness. He is never coming back from this complete craziness. This is where Snow decides whether or not he's going to listen to the little voice in his head telling him to take responsibility for Sejanus' death and not to be the direct cause of someone else's death. Or listen to the voice in his head telling him that he wasn't actually the direct cause of Sejanus' death, because Sejanus should not have made the choices to commit treason in the first place. There are 2 paragraphs towards the end of Songbirds and Snakes that have made me believe that in particular, and I'm going to read them out to you. He had killed Sejanus, as surely as he'd bludgeoned him to death like Bobbin or gunned him down like Mayfair. He'd killed the person who considered him his brother, but even as the vileness of the act threatened to drown him, a tiny voice kept asking, "What choice did you have? What choice?" No choice. Sejanus had been bent on self-destruction, and Coriolanus had been swept along in his wake. He tried to think rationally about it. Without him, Sejanus would have died in the arena, prey to the pack of tributes who had tried to kill them as they fled. Technically, Coriolanus had given him a few more weeks of life and a second chance, an opportunity to mend his ways, but he hadn't, couldn't, didn't care to. He was what he was. Maybe the wilderness would have been best for him. Poor Sejanus. Poor, sensitive, foolish, dead Sejanus. Coriolanus tries to rationalize his actions throughout the book, but he can't seem to be able to fully rationalize any of his actions up until this point with Sejanus. There's always some other character nagging him about his choices, Tigris, Lucy Gray, or Sejanus, but at this point he'd pushed all of these characters away. At this point, Coriolanus had officially decided that he was going to push everyone away that was bringing out the good in him. He spends quite a bit of time describing how he can rationalize the death of Sejanus and how he was not the direct cause. In fact, that he was the good person in all of this. And he compares it to his other 2 kills at the point where he felt as though he was the direct cause because he had the gun in his hand with Mayfair, and how he had bludgeoned Bobbin to death. The death of Sejanus made sure that Snow was capable of rationalizing every kill that he didn't have a direct hand in. If he didn't have the knife, if he didn't have the gun, if he didn't lay a single finger on them, then he didn't kill them. And since at this point he was already too far gone, it makes it a lot easier for him to rationalize killing Lucy Gray. Except he can't fully rationalize it because despite having the gun in his hand, he doesn't know if Lucy Gray actually died or not. Did he have a direct cause in her death? Did she escape? Did she die from her wounds? In my mind, I would say that if she died from her wounds, Snow would rationalize it in saying that because she didn't tend to her wounds properly, she died because of that and wasn't because of him and the gun that he shot at her. After killing Lucy Gray, or supposedly killing Lucy Gray, or she escapes. After the ambiguous ending, Snow finally has lost his mother's compact and his mother's scarf to Lucy Gray, and he takes out his father's compass and uses that to get back to District 12 and the Peacekeepers base. At this point, he cements his fate going back to the Peacekeepers base. Despite already having descended into madness, he hadn't cemented his fate yet. Maybe he could have changed his ways, not rationalized that maybe he would have been executed for killing Lucy Gray or having a hand in the treasonous act that Sejanus also had a hand in. Without this madness and this absurd rationalization of the murders he committed, he would not have become the Snow, the President Snow we saw in the original trilogy. His mind would not have had the capability of blocking out all of these murders he technically didn't have a direct cause in. Because at the end of the day, all Snow wanted was the Snow family name to rise back to power. And by what I can tell from Snow's inner monologue in the books, I would assume that Snow thinks that everyone thinks exactly like him. So everyone rationalizes death and the murder and whatever, the games, the 10th Hunger Games, in the same way that he does. And I just don't think that thought process helped him when he was slowly going mad from all this killing. He basically spent a summer going mad, going on a killing spree, and eventually setting himself up to be the president of Pan Am for the next 65 years. Or, well, give or take a couple of years. Imagine if someone you went to high school with spent their summer between high school and college or such university doing that. Would that not... I would. I think it's absolutely insane that he did that, but just in a couple of weeks. You know what really cements his fate as well? Killing Dean Highbottom. That was insane. I was very surprised that he did that. He also cemented his murder weapon, poison, because he killed Dean Casca Highbottom using poison. President Coriolanus Snow's words are also poison. I'm a genius, that's why I said that. Anyways guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a comment down below telling me what you think of this video. When do you think Snow really cemented his fate and descended into madness. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm currently trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'd greatly appreciate it if you did subscribe. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, but I've been CJ, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!